In this video, you'll see how to manage resource usage with AWS Service Catalog. With this service, you can control which resources are accessible to end users, reduce unnecessary costs, and track resource usage over time. Let's start out as an end user who wants to provision an Amazon Elastic Compute Cloud or Amazon EC2 instance for a computing task. If we have been granted the appropriate permissions in AWS, we can simply navigate to the EC2 console and provision the resources we want. Let's provision an Amazon Linux instance. In some cases, users might not be familiar with the requirements of the computing tasks they need to perform. This might cause them to select an instance that consumes significantly more resources than necessary. In this case, let's select an extra-large instance type. Now we'll complete the process of launching the instance. As you can see, we were able to deploy this instance without any issues. We had complete freedom to decide what instance type to launch, regardless of our actual needs. If all your users have this level of access in your AWS environment, it can be very difficult to manage and audit costs and resource usage. Now, let's switch to the perspective of a cloud admin to see how to use AWS Service Catalog to set constraints on resource access. AWS Service Catalog enables organizations to create and manage catalogs of IT services that are approved for use on AWS. For the purposes of this example, we have already created a portfolio containing several AWS products that we want to make available to end users. Let's drill down into it. The portfolio contains 3 products. Let's take a look at its groups, roles, and users. A group and role have been appropriately configured to grant end users access to the products in this portfolio. To see who is in the group, let's navigate to AWS Identity and Access Management, or IAM. Select the group. The sample end user belongs to the group. Let's review the group's permissions. As you can see, this group has been assigned the AWS Service Catalog End User Full Access policy, which contains just the permissions needed to launch products from Service Catalog. No other permissions have been assigned to this group. Let's return to the sample end user. Now that we only have AWS access as a Service Catalog end user, let's see what happens when we try to launch a new instance from the EC2 console. As you can see, we are no longer able to launch instances directly from the EC2 console. Now let's navigate to AWS Service Catalog to launch an instance. These are the products that we've been assigned permissions to create. Let's launch an Amazon Linux instance. First, we'll specify the general configuration parameters. Next, we'll choose an instance type from the list. This list includes only the instance types that the cloud admin has approved for provisioning through Service Catalog. By limiting the choices, cloud admins can ensure that end users don't launch unnecessarily expensive instances. Notice that the extra-large instance type is not an available option. Let's select this micro instance type. In the event that an end user needs a larger, more expensive instance provisioned for a specific task, they can always work with an admin to provision the resource. Let's finish specifying the options and then proceed to the next step. Cloud admins can require end users to specify tag values during resource provisioning. This can make it easier to track and audit resource usage later. Users can optionally choose to have event notifications sent to an Amazon Simple Notification Service, or SNS topic. In this case, let's just move on. Now we can review the settings and launch the instance. Now that the launch is complete, let's take a look at the Provisioned Products list. Here, users can find all the information they need to access and start working with this newly provisioned EC2 instance. Cloud admins can make many other types of AWS resources available to end users here, including S3 buckets, compute clusters, databases, and machine learning environments. Let's return to the Cloud Admin perspective and navigate back to Service Catalog. In addition to managing resource usage with Service Catalog products, you can create specific budgets for your organization. For instance, we can create a budget for this portfolio so we can track its usage and receive alerts when costs or usage threaten to exceed specified thresholds. First, we'll associate the budget with a tag. For this example, we'll create a single budget for this entire portfolio so that all usage is linked to the same budget. Depending on your needs, however, you can create more granular budgets associated with different cost centers in your organization. Specify a name for the budget and proceed through the setup process. You can choose a fixed monthly budget amount or specify a different budget amount per month. In this case, let's create a fixed budget of $2,000. Now, let's configure an alert for this budget in case costs are greater than anticipated. In this case, we'll choose an alert threshold of 80%, meaning that when 80% of this budget is consumed in a given month, a notification will be sent. Specify a contact to receive the alert. Now let's confirm the budget and create it. Now that the budget was successfully created, let's return to the EC2 portfolio. In the grid settings, you can make additional columns visible to help you track your budgets. Let's add the Current versus Budget column. No data is showing up yet because we still need to associate the budget with this portfolio. Let's do so now. Here's the sample budget we just created. Now we can track this portfolio's budget usage right from this console. You can also track and manage budgets from the AWS Budget screen. Let's go there now. Here you can see all of the budgets for your organization and the current, budgeted, and forecasted costs and usage for each. Let's drill further into this budget. Here you can view the portfolio's budget history, or analyze the budget further in AWS Cost Explorer. If needed, you can also edit the budget. You've just seen how to manage resource usage with AWS Service Catalog. Thanks for watching. Now it's your turn to try.